Good morning, traders. Captain Jim James here with your daily brief for December 22nd, 2021. Happy holidays, gang. Hope all is well with you out there in Twitterverse and YouTube world. Hope you all are having a great week ahead of you. Some of you will probably be taking some time off as we head into the holiday weekend. Others out there, I'm assuming, will be trading right through Christmas and New Year's. And I'll be here with you throughout the entire week. I might not be here live on Thursday at some point unless there's a huge pivot in the market. But you will get videos from me each day and live broadcasts whenever the market is at a critical pivot moment. But I do want to take a moment to thank all of you for your support this year, especially as we wrap up this holiday season. Couldn't have done this without you and can't continue to do it without your support. So with that, let's just get into the rest of the week. We're going to take a look at what we have going on here Wednesday and Thursday. These are pretty big information dumps that we have coming our way. On Wednesday, we've got the GDP revision, revised GDP, consumer confidence index that has to do with inflation. We have existing home sales. And sometimes consumer confidence index can be used for negative news. That's at 10 a.m. too. Be aware of that. We also have VIX-piration today, the role of VIX. In previous years, it hasn't had too much impact on this time of year. I wouldn't expect it to be a huge impact, even if it's used for a reason, for weakness in the market. I wouldn't be so sure that that's the real reason. Okay, and then on Thursday we have more information dumps. Right, we've got initial jobs claims, continuing claims, personal income, consumer spending, core inflation, all kinds of stuff. Right, we've got huge information dump. Consumer sentiment index. I think all these numbers are going to be somewhat glossed over. You might find slight volatility out of these numbers unless there's something going on that we don't know about. I highly doubt that they're going to hammer us this week. No one's around. It's possible, I guess. It can happen. It's always a possibility. But heading into this holiday season, people are have wrapped up their, Main Street shops and all that kind of stuff. I doubt that it happens today or tomorrow. So what does that really mean for us heading into the rest of the week? Thin trading, low volume. We'll get into the charts. I'm going to mostly rely upon the charts as we head into the coming days. Rely upon volatility, that kind of stuff. Volume profile should be important right now. There's been a nice little base built up. We'll take a look at that stuff right now. We're going to get into just the volume profile real quick. We're going to look at ES, and you can see that we didn't slip under in the overnight. We're starting to curl up right now. We should have a nice base in here. And, but when we watch the book map together live during the daytime, we can see that base is being built down here. 4614, we saw that base get built yesterday. And you see it continuing in the overnight. We might trade around in this area here, 4640.25, up to this 468. We were talking about this wall was coming down slightly into yesterday live on Bookmap. It's actually down here. We start to get some resistance at 4660. And as we grind through this wall, as the week wraps up, we could end up grinding through this into Thursday for Christmas. And this would be the start of your Christmas rally. After Christmas on Monday, you would have clear skies above here. So let's say we grind through and we melt up to touch 4,700 on Friday. And then if we came in on Monday here, let me see if I can show you guys this. If we grind above this area into, absorb all these sellers heading into Monday, you end up forming this nice base back here, and we have clear skies above, okay? And that takes us into that 4,780, 4,800 mark. Now, mind you, you do need to remember that we had buyers down below here at 45.20 or so. These buyers will begin to exit, let's say, at the 4,700 mark. So you'll get some weakness in here for that next move up to 4,780. Be aware of that as we move forward. People like to take profits when they buy bottoms. And you'll have the next batch, hopefully, of buyers that will send us to that 47.80 as we move into the new year. All right, so this is what the volume profile is telling us right now on ES. This is looking healthy. Some of this down here is, kind of sketchy down here. I'd really like to see us just grind through this stuff, build a bigger wall down below here if we can. But all the three indexes, it's still healthier than it was, even though, believe it or not, NDX or the Nasdaq and, believe it or not, IWM look much better overall. So we're going to take a look at those next. We'll look at NQ. Let's look at the regular contract here. And you can see the same thing, right? We had a little bit of weakness in the overnight, no big deal. Of course, we're squeezing up into the open this morning, and you would expect that heading into today. There is a lot of nice room in here to grind through, nice sellers in here between this 15,967. Should find some support at the open. Any way that you can buy this dip today should help. And we have a lot of room up here into the 16,141. And we need to grind through this area up here for a bigger push up next week. So you might see NDX or NASDAQ push up pretty well today, okay? Or trade within this range, kind of bounce around, grind out all these sellers into the following week. That would, if NASDAQ ends up pushing up into the new year, you would see a move much higher. That's that 16,900 that I talked about. And we have one other issue in NASDAQ. Let's say we get up into this area, bounce around. Maybe you even see, you start looking for those plays that we've been connecting the dots on. I keep showing you guys order flow for trades into January, February. Those are would be the ones you want to focus on. You also want to be focused on any single stocks in NASDAQ that can squeeze higher in this time period. You could find some up and down trading in here or some grinding in NASDAQ, the index itself. Whereas if you're focusing on single stocks that have been beaten down, some speculative growth type stuff. We talked about all these stocks, right? PayPal, Pins. I have a list of them that I read off to you guys all the time. Uber, any of these beaten down stocks that you know about out there should catch a bid, because they've been so beaten down. The hedge walls are so low right now. We're moving higher into positive gamma and a gamma flip zone. I'll show you that in a minute here. So NASDAQ could end up being kind of meh next few days. You want the work to be done here before you take a nice fat long. You could get up here tomorrow, let's say, right? We'll go up here and bash around a little bit, and then the grind starts, okay? When this grind starts, you want to let the banks do this work and then jump backboard again above. So expect that ceiling somewhere around 16,144 by volume profile. And then we're going to look at the RTY. You can see why I'm talking about there's some nice space above on NASDAQ. There is some nice space above here on IWM, RTY, the Russell. In reality, if you were going to look at an index that had the most potential to go much, much higher, it's going to be the Russell. This base building back here is monstrous. It really is. That's the one thing that no one's been paying attention to is, meanwhile, RUT's been down for so long now. NASDAQ's been down for so long now that a base is formed to lift off from, right? So, and you can see the Russell curling up slightly. You're going to have some traders out there that say this is value area high and we're going to sell down to this value area low at 21281. In reality, I'm doubting these numbers right now. When you start to look further back in time, this is looking like base building to me, and it looks like you've got thin sellers above here. You could wind up seeing some nice upward movement from now into the first or the second week of January. 228, 230 are some price targets in my mind. And you have to look farther back as to what's been going on in the market. This has been going on since November, okay? And this is only a 10-day. It's not a 15-minute, a 10-day. When you start looking at the 2-month, 3-month charts on this stuff, the grind has been so significant that it's normal for us to just come above here. So I'm going to be watching the IWM closely. I think that a lot of the bulls are going to be watching IWM closely, the RUT. There's a lot of potential here to be moving up over the next month, 3 weeks to 4 weeks. And then we're going to take a look back on the charts, and this should help you out much better. So this is the ES chart. It's slightly different than SPY. I'll publish these charts for TradingView for you on Twitter this morning. And there's some things you want to be looking at today, okay? So your buy the dip zone is somewhere down here at 4593. You want to be buying these dips down here. This is all positive gamma here. You can see we're not in negative gamma. Your viewpoint from this point forward should not be we're selling the market. That's the bear plan in the coming days, is that we're going to keep slowly selling down until we hit this 448 for another retest. I'm not buying that right now. I'm going to be buying any dips down here. 4594, I'm all over it. 4600, I'm all over it. This is all positive gamma territory up here. You'll be lucky if you even get to buy this area to this morning at 4640. You might have some, this chart shows something different than what I saw on Bookmap today. There is some resistance kicking around, some grind at the 46.5, 4600 into close yesterday. But once we get past that, it should be some form of a trade up to 4700. You'll experience some volatility as we hit the 4688, 4695 area, and that's for that tag at 47.1. And what are you looking for here? Same thing as yesterday. You're looking for what the reaction is. We're either going to make our way above here into Friday, bounce down, and then make our way up to this 47.80 into next week and the first couple weeks of January. So this morning when we wake up, what am I looking for? I'm going to look for what the open does, right? If we start selling down, we get a green bar up and then start selling down here, I'm going to buy the dipper to 4,600 all day long. We know the smart money's down here at 4,500. They're going to take some of that profit as we get above here at this 4,700, right? Into this zone here. They'll take some profit. We'll swing back down to 4,600, and the original buyers will want to hold into 4,780. And hopefully that's when those 4,500 buyers will swing up. You'll find that big river of liquidity, join forces with the 4,600 people, pushes up to the 4,788. And that's what it's looking for as we move forward. So I'll show you a better place to be buying the dips here on the SPY chart in just a moment. We're going to head over to Nasdaq. Sorry to be so quiet this morning. I have family around for the holidays. We're going to take the same look here at Nasdaq, and this is what I was talking about in here. You're going to be looking for some form of consolidation in here. We talked about 16,100 up here by volume profile. We might swing up in here, bounce around, right? Or just get up here, starts grinding that iceberg, and then slam our way forward into 16,238. Now, the absolute gamma strikes at 16,238. That is my one concern, is when we get up here, we really need people to be making big bets into January for some of big tech. And we've seen some of it, but not a ton of it. There are some buyers, though, on some major stocks. I think we looked at a few of tech stocks that had some major support, single ticker stocks. I really would be focusing, once we get up here to this 16,100 zone up here, let's say you're playing the Qs, I'd be getting out of this right here and then focus directly on specific single speculative growth stocks, tech stocks, and that will help us to push above here and then make that move up to 16,900. Nothing's negative here until you break below 15,775 right now. This is volatility trigger here. This is when things will get nasty. I would be a buyer of Nasdaq down here at 15,781 at any point this week in the Qs. Otherwise, I think I'm going to let the Qs do its thing over here, and I'm going to focus even myself. I'm going to take a look at some of the big Fangman stocks and some of the beaten down tech as we open tomorrow. And if I find anything that looks like it's going to squeeze up, or has a potential to, or if I see anything on Bookmap, maybe we can go live at some point, and you guys can say, hey, I really want to be trading PayPal today, or whatever stock you guys like. Uber, where's Uber going? That kind of stuff. And we'll look at those and see if it's clear skies above. Let's look at RTY real quick. Kind of got the same thing going on, right? Huge potential in here. RTY is kind of, in my view, in my book, as I move into the rest of the week, I'm going to be looking for trading this. You can see this is beautiful clear skies above here. We basically got by the dip down here at 2188, the prime example of how beautiful this chart looks. We got volatility below, right? You got by the dip situation down here at 2138. Cut your losses anything below here, but I'm not expecting us to get this deep. I'm looking for a dip by tomorrow on the bell, 2187. I want to ride this baby right up, 228, 230. I even already have some spreads out there. I've got some straight calls out there. Looking long to go to 230. This is clear skies here. Okay, there's not many sellers in here. We've destroyed sellers since November. We have ripped down this market since November. I am very bullish right now on IWM. I'm very bullish on small caps right now. I'll even post about it on Twitter. I don't know what some of these bears are talking about. This stuff right here will just melt up SPY. It will. It'll melt up parts of NDX or Nasdaq. You're going to see this happen with this trade going on this week. This is the trade to be watching, okay? Now, we're going to look real quick at SPY. I'm going to get back on the 1 day. I think I was looking back at last December. There were some comparable things to be looking at here. And we're going to take a look down here. And this is what I'm talking about with the bears. They're going to try telling you tomorrow and Thursday that's doom and gloom. They're going to tell you that we're turning here and this is a corrective. I'll even show it to you. This is what the bears are thinking. I know exactly what the bears are thinking. Thinking we come down here. They're going to think we're going to come up here and we're going to start failing down. They're looking for this right here. Do I see that happening? No. Why do I not see that happening? I don't see it happening because we're in positive gamma. This would have happened. I would have believed in this if we had closed down here. You wanted to see this failure somewhere down in here. You want to see that the bears couldn't commit down here. They took the money and they ran, and they should have. This move right here, right, is a great move. If you're a bear, you take your money and you run, and they were expecting that continued sell down. This is where you'll see that corrective move. When you see something like this, the bulls are in charge. I'm sorry to say it. That's what it is. I like to do measures. I know I'm always busting Elliott Wave guys. It's part of the Elliott Wave process, kinda. But when I'm looking at that right there, start looking for that swing over there, and some of this starts to make sense, right? Start seeing that price target above. That doesn't shock me to see that happening in the future. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for any dip buying I can do down here at 460. And I'm going to be looking for some volatility above in this 465, 466 range. Maybe jump out and let the robots do it, right? Maybe we could even end up trading inside of this zone. This is a possibility right here. Say we sell down, we bounce around in here, right? And then eventually let's say on Thursday. When's Thursday? Right here. So we do some kind of goofiness like this. We have some kind of a slow melt up into Friday. We hit the 470. Yeah, we're good to go, right? And what would you see into Monday? You would see some sort of a take profit. We see either a bounce here at 464 or even 460. And then we make our way above to this 478 by the 31st. It's right there. Something like that I would expect. I'd be a buyer of any of these dips. So anything in here, like let's say we dip this down, we dip this to here, we dip this to here, I'm a buyer here. Find new support up here at 464. Maybe some moments where we're trading down, or this 478's maybe extended a little farther out. I could see something like that, right? Bounce around in here, and then we hit 478 in the second week of January. But even if this is stretched out in time-wise, you're looking for these key levels to be buying with some time on your calls to get up to that 478. So what's my plan for tomorrow, right? How do I wrap this up with you guys? I am a buyer down here. Anything down here, I'm buying. This is all gamma flip up here. So if we get any weakness into tomorrow, I'm buying it. If we come back down here and you hear bears screaming and yelling at you tomorrow, saying, "Look, you gave up all your profits from the day before," you know that the snapback level's at 461.16. That's a gift. If I get that gift tomorrow, I'm buying it. And they might not give you that gift. My assumption right now is that these buyers down here, and the way that the flow was coming in yesterday, that's order flow. That's not just options flow and gamma that's been moving, which I wanted to make note of. Our positive gamma is expanding up, and our negative gamma from below is coming up. Okay, so we're shifting. I had to shift all of these charts as we move forward because of our close yesterday. Everything came up yesterday. So we've got higher walls from below and we've got higher walls above. So keep that in mind as we move forward. This is a gift. I doubt we trade down to this, but if they do, this would be the one opportunity that bears have, if they've missed the boat so far, to hopefully make this move up to 470. And we're on board right now to trade higher. I would be concerned as we head into. You're going to hear a lot of these. You're going to hear news about buy defensive stocks because they've been doing so well. I'd be really cautious of that stuff as we head into January, February. You might be the one bag holding when when our market does sell off in March. I would be really wary. So I guess not. So I guess you got some of you guys are. I saw a lot of trades in Nike. Nike went up, I think. I'm not sure. Let me take a look at Nike. But I know that's one of the goofy fucking plays that Morgan Stanley's been pushing, right? You can see the buy right here. And this to me looks more like this looks like bots selling, right? We sell down, we push back up. They had a lot of call flow today in Nike for this trade that MS is telling people to buy, but this looks more like we're going to sell up, bunch more bag holders, sell down, spike back up, same thing as we sell off this kind of a trade into early year. Be aware of that, okay, as we move forward. Nike's not really a beaten down stock. When you start looking at Nike, let's take a look at Nike, okay? Let's not look at Nike here, but let's look at the 1 year in Nike. It's a pretty powerful move up here. They sold this down, they drove it back up. My thought is they're going to sell it down, drive it back up, sell it back down, and unwind themselves from this trade that began down here at 131. So just be cautious of this trade heading into the new year. This trade kind of bothers me. I don't dislike it, but I'm wary of it. Trades like this remind me of RK back in 2019, 2020, leading into 2021. Makes all these huge gains. Everything's wonderful. Everybody's high-fiving. And you get into like March up here at 185, and you're stuck holding the bag, 200. You're stuck holding the bag up here, and this Nike trade sells down for an entire year. I could be wrong on this, but I'm telling you, it smells to me. It smells. It might be great for day trade in the next couple weeks, but it smells real bad to me that Nike is this high up right now. And even if it does shoot up, let's say it shoots up to 200, 230, 250, you're telling me you're going to bag hold that in March? You're crazy thinking you're going to bag hold that in March. You're absolutely crazy. They bought down here at 125. Tell me they're going to hold this at 225 or 250 come in springtime? My answer is no. So maybe you can run this up, right? If you're like really cool day trader, you buy these dips for the run up, let's say, that's fine, but I would not be investing in Nike into 2022. Be investing in a stock that's been down for a year, like RK or whatever, ARKG. Something, if you don't like Kathy's stuff, you don't have to invest in that, but find some better stocks than buying something that's already way up here at 179, okay? Or at least I will. You can do what you want. I don't really care sometimes what some of you guys out there are doing. That's no offense either. But I'm looking for stocks that have been beaten down for a whole year into next year. You guys know what they are. I've shown you guys growth stocks that are just climbing. The banks are moving them. And I'll introduce them more to you as the weeks progress. Now, I'm going to leave you with one last thing. On us having a toast for anyone that's supported me, trying to grow this channel, trying to grow the handle, trying to get some training classes done, run bookmap, all that stuff for you guys. I'm going to be doing a buy me a beer kind of a thing every week, right? So this week, instead of doing it on Wednesday today, we might have a bear together or something today, but we're going to have a Zoom call, a live Zoom call for 100 of you that want to join and just relax, have just a quick talk so that I can hear your ideas. I really want to hear who you guys are out there, who you girls out there, women, men, whatever you guys are. I don't care what you call yourselves. I'm pretty easy guy. So, but I do want to know who you guys are, I want you guys to somewhat form a group of people that can trade together as bulls and bears, take the big bear trades, take the big bull trades together, and you guys can, this is what other people do, right? So you might as well help each other out, become better traders, help each other out to make money, and kind of use a group of people with resources together to find out where the market's going, okay? And even if you go your own way, at least you have that input that you can bounce your theses off other people. You don't always have to trade what I trade or what other traders trade, but at least you can say, hey, look, I want to take this market short down here and find out what the group has to say about it. Sometimes it's nice to listen to people that you trust to say, yeah, you can do that, but put this on, or this is what I would do. I know there's some people out there that follow me on these videos here, and they trade much more complex trades. So if you're a complex trader and you like to trade complex trades, I'm sure you can find someone in this group that would love to trade with you or teach you how to trade more complex trades. So use our group of people, our group of retail traders as a resource, okay? It's important that we build this community so that we're all trying to be successful or at least not lose our shirts or at least have a trusted group of people that we can bounce our ideas off without absolutely trashing or snark like beating each other up, okay? So that's the whole plan for the future. And we'll have a little talk on Sunday. So Saturday is Christmas. So on Sunday, let's do it at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll put a post out, and I'm going to work out this afternoon. My job today is going to be getting an invitation out to you guys so that you can, it's like a link so that you guys can log in on Sunday at 2 p.m. And if you don't drink alcohol, there's no requirement to. I don't know if I'll even be drinking. But, if you guys want to do a shot together or sip a bourbon together or a water, sparkly, whatever you guys like, some champers, whatever you guys do out there, it's all good. This is just lighthearted, easy, no stress. Just, hey, how are you? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you celebrate. Pagan holidays for some of you out there I know are celebrating that holiday. That's directed at one person, specifically if he's watching or listening right now. So have a great day today trading. Good luck out there. You do know that you need to know, even though we're trading positive right now, I want to leave you with that. On highs, get yourself some protection. If you're down here and we start selling through, we're in bearish territory, right? You see this drop down here. See this drop that took place in the overnight. They did it in the overnight intentionally. They knew they could get away with it down here. So there's nothing saying we can't do that again. You should have protection. You can always get just cheap, something dirt cheap, okay, for these kind of moves down here. I look forward to trading with you. I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, even if you don't celebrate it, a traditional holiday. I know some of you don't do that, and if you don't do that, just have a great weekend, a nice quiet weekend with family and friends, by yourself, whatever it is that you do out there. If any of you out there are having a real struggle with the weekend, if any of you are ever in any kind of risk to yourself or other people, please reach out to any of us. Any of this community are more than willing to help you out. If you have something really negative and rough going on in your life, you need an ear to talk to or someone to lean on or whatever, please let one of us know, okay? If I don't respond to you in a DM, just grab me in a post. Just be like, hey, Captain, I need to talk to you. You don't have to say publicly on that post, it's because I'm having a rough go of it, but if you just need someone to talk to and you haven't gotten my attention, just grab me in a post. If you see me post something, just in the DM, in the comment section, just say, hey, Captain, I need to talk to you. Because we've all been there. I've been there. I've had real tough goes. There was a time, a long time ago, I had a house fire, and I almost died in it. And my family was in there. It was real bad. I lost everything. I lost every single thing I had. I lost all of it. Sitting there on the side of a road with my house burned to the ground. And I ran back into the house trying to save it. And I never should have done that. I could have died. So, I know you guys have rough patches in your life. And if any of you are having that rough patch, you just don't think you can get ahead, the holidays can be a real tough time. So keep chins up, right? I used to always say chin up, nose down. So I just put my blinders on and try to get through a holiday when things are going tough for you. Have a wonderful holiday. Happy holidays. And I'll see you all on the floor today.